Alright, OPPO Enco A5, a brand new budget TWS from OPPO. I've been using these for the past 2 weeks daily. So I'm gonna break it down for you. What's good, what's not good, and whether you should actually buy them. So let's dive in. Before we get into the main part, a quick talk. For any budget TWS, there are major pillars. So any brand that checks these pillars, that's purchase worthy stuff. So first, the battery. Second, the price worthy sound tuning. It doesn't have to be great, but it shouldn't be bad for the price. So that's sound tuning. Third, a decent ANC. Fourth, fit. The fit has to be very good. It's very important because we tend to use for 4 hours, 5 hours every single day. So the fit. And the last one, reliable touch controls. It's very important to have a reliable touch controls because when you try to double tap but it registers as triple tap, it gets annoying. Okay, so it's very important to have reliable touch controls. Let's see if OPPO Enco A5 checks all these boxes. Unboxing this, you'll get a sleek matte lavender case in a comfy pebble shape, and open it up, you are hit with the contrasting glossy finish earbuds. I just love this two texture design very much. Then you're hit with ear tips. Standard cheap silicone ear tips, literally outdated for 2026. To every brand out there, we know you've been ditching the charging cables in the budget TWS lately. So why not throw 4 pairs of premium ear tips with every budget TWS, because it really adds value to the product. Moving on, each bud weigh around 4.5 grams. I know they're light as feather, not a sarcasm, they are really light. And they do fit perfectly in your ears. Once you lock them in, they stay put. So there is no need for constant adjusting like I always had to do with my Realme Buds Air 7, which I hate doing it. And these legit do feel so effortless on the ears. And the case has nice curves and comfortable to hold in the hands. But I wish OPPO should have taken a page from the Realme, reorganizing the components and making it 25% denser and smaller. Hell yeah, that would have been so cool. But anyways, design and fit, check. So coming to the ANC, usually sub 3K ANC is just a marketing gimmick that barely works. But these literally blew me away. I'm not kidding. I've tested them side by side with the best, one of the best, AirPods Pro 2, and they nearly blocked 90% of the noise the AirPods Pro did. So when you try to turn on the ANC, first it blocks certain amount of noise, then it gets extended further and blocks that extra amount of noise. I don't know how they are doing it, but maybe that's why they are calling it real-time ANC. So it's really working. I'm quite impressed with this execution. I never thought under 3K TWS would come this close to the AirPods Pro. So this is a big win for OPPO Enco A5. And the transparency mode is decent as well. So ANC, a big time check. With the ANC on, it's 7.5 hours total per charge. Then with the ANC plus spatial audio, it gives around 8 hours. Yes, more than just standalone ANC. With no ANC or transparency mode, it gives around 11 hours plus. So on a mixed daily usage, it gives a solid 9 hours plus 4 charge cycles with the case. So it gives you around 45 hours, which is pretty cool on a mixed usage. But if you completely turn off ANC, it gives around 54 hours of what brand claims. So battery, check. Just when I think it can't get any better, touch controls on these are insanely reliable. I spammed over 10 consecutive combinations, single tap, double tap, triple taps and long presses, and it registered 100% of them within under half a second latency. Most of the buds in this price bracket usually tend to miss 1 or 2 inputs or misregister triple taps for double taps, but this didn't even break a sweat. So touch controls. Now, how do they sound? Keeping it real and simple, out of the box, it is already set to the ultimate sound preset, which is the only usable preset out of the 3. It's a mid-centric tuning with control bass, and the treble is just okay. There is no LSDC or LDAC here, so don't expect crazy instrumental separation and micro details. So overall, it's warm, bright and easy to listen to. But if you want more crispness and little sub bass, use the 10 band EQ, which is again very uncommonly good thing in this price bracket. I use the 10 band EQ and bumped up the higher mids and the treble region to bring out a few details, Since we're talking about the bass, even in the default mode, the bass is very controlled. It doesn't overwhelm or it doesn't mess with the other frequencies. It is very controlled bass. You'll get the right amount of bass. Nothing boom boom bass kind of stuff which messes with the vocals. It doesn't do that. So even after the EQ, I try to push the sub bass and the overall bass. It really handled pretty well. And here is my comparison on how these sound before and after using the 10 band EQ. If I had to put it this way, if before it's a descending sound burst, then after EQ it surely is a better than decent sounding. So, and a word of warning, don't try to push the treble region much because it gets harsh and noisy fast. So keep it balanced, and the overall bass got handled pretty well. And that's how Realme Air5 buds sound. So coming to the other features, hair translation, you get 120 minutes per month of real-time translation or unlimited if you download language packs. Super handy and it works good. And there is OPPO Alive Audio, another name for spatial audio. Gives a subtle widening to the sound stage. Nothing mind-blowing, but it is noticeable. And in-ear detection is snappier than I thought. Pauses in under a second and plays instantly. It's working pretty well. It also comes with a gaming mode and by default it is turned on. Low latency works surprisingly well for the BGMI. Wired is always king for the competitive gaming, but these are more than a solid for casual sessions. Spotify tap is something new for me. You can assign a control to directly open Spotify and play the song like a shortcut. This is interesting, but I'm wrapping my head around. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So that's there. To conclude, OPPO Enco A5 checks every major box for a budget TWS. The battery, fit, reliable touch controls, and a decent sound along with ANC that punches way above its price tag. Testing it with Apple AirPods Pro 2 side by side proves itself how solid this noise cancellation is. So the bottom line is, if you want an all-rounder with insane bang for the buck, ANC, then you should be getting this. But if pure high-res audio is the only priority, then you should be looking at a Realme T500 Pro or a Realme Air 7. So that's OPPO Enco Air 5 for you all. I hope you liked it, and if you made this far, I'm glad. Also let me know in the comments if you want a head-to-head comparison between Realme T500 Pro and Realme T500 Pro and OPPO Enco Air 5. See you in the next one. Peace.